Hello, I'm Jennifer. The time is now 2:50 a.m. Might as well do it like what I'm going to be speaking about in this video, because that's how he always starts it, so I'll just copy him. He's like good at this kind of stuff. I'm feeling very uncomfortable, but right, firstly, I'm on about referring to Michael Fogg. Michael Fogg, which probably many of you know, hopefully for good things, but there'll be plenty what knows him for bad. He is my father. I say that begrudgingly because to me he's just a donor and it's just Michael. I stay away from the public. I don't like people as such. I find it awkward. But anyway, that's a different story. But he's obviously a showman. We're totally different in personalities and in many ways as well. It's not just personalities, it's everything. But yeah, he's a compulsive liar. I can say that because there's actually truth on my account. If you want to go and have a look, it's Jennifer Fogg. And I do put truth on with what I'm stating. But this isn't just about him. I am going to be telling my story of my life with Michael Fogg because all of you think you know him, which I've lived with him for 13 years. Then he left my mum, who we were quite abusive to as well, which in his latest video he's stating about women what get beat up by men and all this stuff. Well, anyway, yeah, skip that bit. Yeah, so Michael is my father, like I've stated, and in his latest video he is saying about a troll, and if you notice, he's got plenty of trolls after him, but not all of these trolls will be lying. He believes the people what he wants you to believe the people what give him good reviews, but the people what give him bad, he doesn't like. As you can tell, I'm very, very anxious. I don't like this at all. I'm even forgetting what I wanted to say. I have got some notes behind me, and I don't like looking at myself in the camera, so sorry if I'm doing your head in. Right, so Michael Fogg, he plastered my name and my address all over his social media. I live with a 3-year-old, which technically it's his granddaughter, but it is not his granddaughter. My daughter doesn't need him in her life. I don't want him in my daughter's life. I don't want him in my life. But this is the truth of my story growing up with him and also what I know regarding Michael, which this is probably going to be quite a few videos and I will keep updating stuff too. Now I've started this, I'm not going to stop. It's took me a lot of courage to actually do this tonight, and that's why it's getting done at this time. But do you know what? I just think, sod it. Live once, let the truth out about him, let you decide on what you believe, because to be honest, frankly, I don't care if you believe me or not. I've had this all in my whole life, people believing him over me, which is absolutely fine, because I know the truth. He knows the truth. Well, actually, I don't know if he does, because he's clearly is mentally, well, I don't even know what word, because I don't think he knows the truth if it hit him in the face, to be honest. So I need to stop babbling on. But Michael's given me the idea of doing this because on his latest video he states about trolls, and instead of him phoning him up, which I haven't phoned him up, and he calls me a troll, but I'm not a troll. I can almost guarantee the rest of the people what he calls a troll aren't a troll. I believe you because I know what he's like. But yeah, and Oh, yeah, and then he also mentions about running for an MP, which, yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. At the end of the day, MPs are very good at lying too, aren't they? Let's face it. So I think he would make the perfect MP, and I'm almost certain he would end up becoming the Prime Minister. How he's can, well, we have his lies anyway. Right, a long story short, I was born in 1991 to Michael. Well, as the father and my mum. Didn't have a good childhood at all. Recently, once I set up my Jennifer Fogg page, I've received a message from somebody what I went to primary school with. Now, got talking to her and she was one of the popular kids at school. And I was like the geeky, dorky one to like shy away from people. I were like a teacher pleaser, but behind in up to being like year 3-ish, and then I started to pick up a little bit, but and I said that to the person what messaged me, but I was like the weird child, and she put I weren't weird, I was just, I forgot what she put, but she were anyway. She's still very nice, and she can remember obviously parts of my childhood, what her and her mother witnessed. It was also very nice. I went to a little school called Bluestone, and we're basically like a village kind of school. Everybody knew each other. It was very small. It's a pity it got shut down, because that's where I'd had to send my daughter today if it was still here. I used to love school because it got me away from home. I loved primary school. Secondary school I didn't like at all, but primary school I absolutely loved. And like I said, I did used to try and help others at school, especially primary. And then there were some issues where I kicked off, but especially when I was younger. But yeah, then from there, I used to live at Norfolk Park with my mum and dad as well, and my sister. I'm not going to mention her names either, because I don't think it's fair for me to bring her into this. This is for Michael. It's him what does his YouTube. It's him what's telling people to come to YouTube and, well, I don't know, I can't remember his words. But to be honest, most of it's rubbish what he says, and his voice grates through me. I don't even watch his videos. I've been sent snippet, like I said. So yeah, I've seen bits. Right. So, let's go. Right, so I'll tell you about my bringing up. The weekends and holidays, especially the 6 weeks, I was always with my nana and Grandad Jess. Growing up, if I could, I would have lived there all the time. They were brilliant with me. I was spoiled with them, whereas at home I wasn't wanted. My parents wanted boys, and unfortunately for them, they got 2 girls. But I'm like next best thing to a boy anyway, let's face it. So yeah, but they favoured my sister, which now I'm thankful for, because I'm not like them, but she is. So I suppose with me, I'm the lucky one, because I were kind of away from it. Anyway, she got favoured. The reason why she was favoured is because she drank a bottle of Terps that my father left out, my donor. So yeah, she was 3-year-old and she drank this bottle of Terps. She ended up in hospital, children's, and she had to have her stomach pumped and all this stuff. Anyway, besides the point. So she got favoured. Then later on, what happened? Like I said, my childhood weren't nice. I'm trying to skip to I might as well get to funeral part bits. Right. our 6, nearly 7-year-old. And we went to go and pick a person up from London. He'd done the marathon. It was just a white estate car, and in the back it had got this white stickery stuff front windows, but it made it look like it was like a minivan, even though it weren't a minivan. So we went down to London on motorway, Dad driving, Mum at side, me and my sister. So pulled up at this hospital. My Dad took us into hospital with himself and my mum and my sister. So we went walking into this hospital. We came out with a stretcher, but back then I would have called it a trolley, because that's what it just reminded me of, with a black bag on it. Now, you can imagine what's in this black bag with the weight what he did. At that time, it was his first repatriation, which he didn't do it for long either. And this was in 1997, this happened. So yeah, like I said, came out with this stretcher, and the person put the body into the back of the vehicle. Bearing in mind, it's just a 5-seater car. So the seats went down in the back of the vehicle, and the person from the hospital went walking back into the hospital. Me and my sister was told to sit on the quilt, which was put over the black bag. Now, I can describe the quilt. It was blue with yellow flowers on it. What we were sitting on top of. So yeah. And when we got to on way there, my sister were going mad at this thing, and my dad says it's a man. Be careful, blah de blah. So my sister was saying, move over, telling this black bag to move over. Obviously there were a man inside it. So when we were dropping it off, my dad unzipped it to show us. So that was our first time in seeing a dead person. So yeah, I am skipping too much into this. There's loads what I wanted to tell you about, but I'll have to do another video too. I'll just do highlights. So yeah. Then he stopped doing repatriation. After that after that repatriation, attacking the bloke what died from doing the London Marathon, we went back to family members. And he were bragging. It's somebody that lives on Ackensthorpe. One of his family members what lives on Ackensthorpe. He was bragging about me and my sister sitting on top of this dead person. And they were all laughing about it. That just shows how sick my family is. To be laughing about 2 kids sitting on top of a dead body and to be seeing a dead body. But now, according to some of them, I just think it just shows the mentality to think it's all right. Because I wouldn't allow that for my daughter. But each for their own. And I've noticed quite a few of his followers think it's all right for Jacob to be doing this stuff, what he's supposedly doing, which he isn't doing. That's all a lie too. But you believe what you want. Right. Then we'll skip to I'm trying to think. We have to skip to. Um, 2003, he split up with my mum. That's a good part. And he went to live with his mum, my nana. And this was when it started to come out about Cheryl, but he was seeing Cheryl. But at the time, he was also seeing another cousin, which he won't want people to know, but sod it. It's the truth. Like I said, you can look on my Facebook. I'm Jennifer Fogg on this Facebook. My name ain't Fogg now. I've changed it. But, yeah. So, like I said, he's gone to my nan's. And he was living there. My nan ended up moving out of her own home. So, but he could live there because she couldn't cope with him living there with her. So, and he's slating his mother all over his social media who's passed away. But he's not saying that the 4 months that it took for her to pass away while she was in hospital, he didn't go and visit her. He just did one phone call to, what do you call it now? My mind's blank. Palliative care, that's it. I knew it'll come. It's because I'm stressing a bit. He phoned palliative care up while she was in there and said it was the funeral director of the family. Not how is she doing, is she comfortable, not even been to see her out, but the conversation was to the operator, but it's funeral director, that's it. Which, that shows what he's like to his own mother. But, yeah, that's when she passed away though. And my nana moved out of her own house in 2003. Thankfully, my nana's been literally my queen my whole life until she passed away. Without her, I dread to think how I would be. But obviously now she's just not here. But yeah. Then we'll go to 2005. 2005, me and my friend went to Doncaster Door, which was good. It was a good day. But he ruined it. He just started the business, the Michael Fogg Funeral Director's business. But he'd been doing the repatriations for about a year or two at this point. And when he took us swimming to Doncaster Door, he took us in the van. It were a white van. And my friend will even back me up on this. I've even got proof on this. Yeah, he took us swimming, dropped us off at Doncaster Door, but he didn't just drop us off. He had to open the back of the door, and he was trying to show my friend the body what was in the back of the van. Now, we were both youngish, and obviously it put her on edge, which it would do. And I don't think death is something what kids should be around either. It's bad enough being an adult and worrying about life and risks and everything else. What comes with adulthood. It's not a fun place, is it? So I don't understand why he tries to push it on kids. But I do, because he's a bully. And it's to see other people's reaction. So he likes the shock horror and I don't know. He's just sick. But yeah. Then I ended up kicking off with him there. Because obviously I weren't impressed, but we were trying to show my friend dead body. And I didn't want to see it either. My sister, I can remember my sister back in 2004-ish. It came to pick us up to take us to Crystal Peaks. It got a lady in the back of his van then. He'd done a repatriation. And it were American casket. two doors. So it's like a stable top in a way, top half and bottom half. My sister didn't end up going shopping that day because he opened the coffin up and the coffin was full of pictures all along the doors, and we saw the person laid there in the finger. So she ended up going back in house. She was really, really upset. So yeah. There's so much what I want to say. And I haven't really done this in order, but it's hard for me to plumbing think. I don't know how he does this all the time. I'm not liking it at all. I'm actually hoping no one actually watches it. Let me think what else I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe to this and all of that, like what he does, because there's no point. I will keep uploading stuff, and I think I need to try and organise myself a little bit better to do it a bit better, put it in order too. But my stuff is on Jennifer Fogg Facebook. I'm not scared of you no more, Michael. Top and bottom of it, I am looking you directly, and I am not scared of you. Try and do whatever you want. Because, do you know your threats and your big hard men and all of this lot and stuff what I've known what you've done in past, like writing pervert on whatever on Stradbroke Road, when the police came out and you got the paint on your trousers from you doing it, don't scare me. You do not scare me no more. And this has proven it. Because any other time I would back up and shut up. No, I'm not being belittled into that corner no more. I'll tell you one thing, there's one good thing what's come from my life, and that's my daughter. Because she's made me hell of a lot more stronger. And you don't know me. You never have, thankfully. But I know you, and I know you are so nasty, it's unreal. And I know you are evil. That's what your mother even used to say. And she said when you were born, she used to look for 666 on your head. And that if you told her it was raining outside, she'd have to get up and look at window. Because even your own mother knew, but you used to lie all the time. But this is for people what's used it and thought but you had a good funeral. If it's anybody what's had a woman done by him in the last, not last 15 years, but 15 years previous to now. Well, from 15 years. If he's told you but he went out to get your mother, or women, aunts, sisters, whoever, especially women, a scarf to put around the neck because they were going weird around neck and stuff with lice anyway. But if he told you but he went out to buy a scarf directly for your loved one, and it was to match your outfit or it was to match your hair or whatever it comes out with, I'd like you to leave a comment below and put what colour it were. Because you'll see something, there'll be a pattern. Each one of you will have the same scarf. Or anything what's relevant where he said he's done something specifically for you. You will see there's a pattern. He hasn't done it just for you. He's a compulsive liar, nothing. You were lucky if you got to see your loved one back then. I'm not saying, I can't really comment on premises now because I don't know him now. The one thing is, a leopard can never change its spots. Thankfully, I've never been like him, or my mum. I've always been the odd one out, and I am very thankful for that. And it's taught me to stand up on my own 2 feet. It's taught me to fight for people what need fighting for. It's taught me to respect people. Even though I'm not a people person and I find it awkward in situations, especially when communication's involved, and if well, yeah, I'm babbling on. But I'm getting the truth out, one way or another. And I don't care what any of you say. What I am saying is the truth. Like back in 2003? Wait, no. Yeah. 2003 when you did my neck. And then tried to blame it on the teacher at school. All for you to claim at the you caused me to have a slip disc and a broken disc at the top of my back, and it plays havoc, especially in winter and cold weather. But that's what my memories of you is. It's causing me pain and distress. I can't really say anything good or anything that I am proud of you for, because everything what you do, it's based on a lie. Alarms was. Royal Mail, pinching, everything. I can go on and on and on, and trust me, these videos are going to keep coming. They are going to keep coming, because I am not stopping. I am not. I have no chance. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to get going now, because I am babbling on, and I do need to get to sleep. So, right, I will speak later.